thought, right? When did you stop? Question mark. Because you're supposed to post down, when did you stop taking care of yourself? When did you stop, Joanne, taking care of yourself? You know, for those who follow me, probably you know this, but a lot who don't follow me, what happens is people ask me what I do. And I say a couple different things. I say, well, I'm a storyteller, which I am. I'm a storyteller. I also tell people that I teach people to dream. I teach adults to dream again. I also tell people that and this is what I do, I teach adults to dream again. I also help people unbeep themselves up in the mind, is what I do. But that's very careful. That's very interesting. And so when I'm helping people get their fitness goals back, hey, Rob, how you doing? When I help people get their fitness goals back, the first thing that I do, Joanne prompted this. This wasn't what the topic was going to be about, but because she played along, she's going to fuel my fire here. And thank you very much for that, Joanne. Taking care of myself. I asked two questions of whether or not I'm going to deal with you or not. Because I only have so much time, right? We all have so much time. So are you committed to doing? So two questions that I ask, and ask yourself this, okay, with regards to our health and wellness. What happened to you to make you be who you are today? So if you're not happy with what so for example, I'll have people come to me and they're overweight. They're overweight, and they'll come to me with some, they want help to help them not be overweight or not to feel the way that they feel. And I ask two questions. The first question actually is, why do you want to change? Why? The why is super, 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 super important, right? The why. Well, you know, I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me that if I don't do this, that by the time I'm that, I'll be gone. And I have 2 kids, and I haven't even seen my grandkids yet, and I want to see my grandkids, and I don't want to be like my father who passed away too early, and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's a huge why, right? That's a huge why. I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. That's a huge, massive why. And most people will say to themselves, well, that's good enough for me as a trainer or as a coach or as a, you know, whatever you want to call it. Well, that's great. That's a big, powerful why, but that's not enough for me. Why? Because I'm special. I'm special, self-promoter, special. So I'm special because I just won't deal with people. I won't help people unless there's the other 50% of the riddle. And the real kicker is that, yeah, we know the why. The why is powerful enough, but do you know why you started getting to where you didn't want to get to in the first place? Make sense? So why is it that what happened to you to start you down the road of this unhealthy path? It just didn't happen overnight. It happened in basically over 5, 10, 20 years. All of a sudden you woke up and you're like, what? What happened to me? I used to be blank. What happened? Well, what's happening? It was happening for a long period of time, right? So I need to know that as well. So I need to know what it is that made you feel the way that you felt in the first place. Like what started? Well, you know, I was dealing with, I was in a relationship where the person suffered from bipolar, and it really was stressful, and I found myself at work lots. I was eating the wrong foods. I was whatever, and now I'm no longer in that relationship, and therefore I've escaped that, and I didn't realize the damage it did to my body. And I'm like, great. Well, now you know. Now you know what not to get yourself into in the first place to get you down that path again. You now know what happened to you. You now know why you want to get started, and that's the power. That's the 100% riddle right there. But that wasn't what I was going to talk about. But Joanne, you actually prompted me to think about that, taking care of myself. So Joanne, that was for you. What happened to you to stop taking care of yourself? What happened? Sometimes we have children, right? We have children. It takes up a lot of time. Well, let's face it, I'm a parent. I know the dedication and time it takes to be a parent. It takes a lot of dedication. And when you become a mother, you become a father, you learn to sacrifice your time, your health, your wellness. Well, you don't have to, but most people do, to pour into your kids. Then all of a sudden they're 20 years old, they're gone, you don't have to pour into them as much anymore. You're like, what the heck happened to me? Has anybody done that before? Like, any person my age has done it, right? We've all done it. Well, don't do this or I don't do that because I'm spending time driving my kids to and from hockey, to and from lacrosse, to and from this, to and from school, to and from sports, to and from activities. And your time gets eaten up. Your time, attention, and energy gets eaten up from you to them, right? I mean, it happens, but you can have the balance. So now that I've got completely sidetracked on what the original topic was, anybody who's watching, Marilyn, thanks for popping on. Anybody who's watching this, what the heck was this about in the first place? Oh yeah, right. It was about when did you stop? When did you stop? And so this question is really for all the adults here. All the adults in the room. All the vast 2 viewers on here that are playing along. When did you stop what it is that you were doing? And that can be different for everybody. Now, what I was specifically want to talk to you guys about was dreaming. When did that stop? Dreaming. When did that stop? When did dreaming stop for you? What age was it when you stopped dreaming? Now, I know most people on here will probably say, oh, I've never stopped dreaming. No. You maybe still dream a little bit when you're sleeping, but when you're awake, what happened to those big dreams? When I grow up, I'm going to be a blank. When I grow up, I'm going to travel the world. When I grow up, I'm going to blank. That's what we used to be like. But then all of a sudden what happened was reality snuck in, right? The almighty reality. Well, it's just life. It's just life. We create these BS things in our head to justify the fact that we lowered our ceiling in life and accepted that dreams don't come true. No, I'm just busy with my kids. So why'd you stop dreaming? Well, no, I got a job. Well, why'd you stop dreaming? Well, I've been working for 45 years. That was my life. I have bills to pay, so I have to work. Well, why'd you stop dreaming? Why did you stop dreaming? Why did all of a sudden when you were born, outside with the sky, the sky's the limit, right? It goes on forever. It goes up into the universe, goes up forever. It goes forever. Why is it that we all of a sudden put a ceiling on our lives? And so because when I turned 43, I'm 46 now, but I turned 43 and I got reattached to my dreams. And there's Ted Boner on here, and actually, as a matter of fact, he's kind of a guy that I was kind of talking about. I wasn't talking specifically about him, but there's a guy who lives his life, with passion towards his children and passion towards his friendships and passion towards his... Why? Because as a matter of fact, that guy he had some heart issues. Right, Ted? You had heart issues, and you got that talk with the doctor that says, hey, guess what? And you're like, you know what? I'm going to fully... So he lives life differently now. He lives life now like every day is a gift. And go and tackle that, right? Wouldn't you feel the same way? So cat's out of the bag, Ted. No, I'm just kidding. Ted doesn't have a problem talking about that issue because he hopes to inspire other people to do the same. So... dreaming. Back to dreaming, everybody. Back to dreaming. Why is it and when was it that you stopped dreaming for the big things in life? The big things. I was 43 years old and I got attached to my dreaming ability again. And I said, you know what? Enough of this. Is this really what life's all about? Is life really all just about going to work, coming home from work, no energy? No energy for me, barely existing and thriving, not even engaging with my kids because I'm so tired. Stress. Oh my goodness, all that stress that we're going through, financial, dietary, oh my gosh, so much stress. When I got the 9-to-5 and discovered I didn't have enough money to do what I wanted to do. Thanks, Marilyn. See, Marilyn's playing along. Thanks, Marilyn. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's that 9-to-5 world. You know that 9-to-5 world is actually, it's a prison. It's a prison. It's a death sentence, right? Why is it that if you went to prison, if we went to prison for 45 years, imagine that, man. You get sentenced to prison for 45 years. Well, life sentence is 25. Let's just do a life sentence. 25 years. 25 years is a life sentence. Well, why is it that, we get sentenced at age 20 to a career? And we're all actually believing that the career is what life's all about. We get into the career And for us on here that are now 45, 50 years old, maybe 60 years old, if you look back right now and you said to myself, man, if I could do it all over again, now that you're retired maybe, if I could do it all over again, I would have found a way to retire early. Steve, thanks for popping on. Steve Jorgensen, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Wouldn't we look back and say, wow, man, is that all life really was? That 45 years, like 25 years life sentence seems like it's a long time. But 45 years of work where you don't get any further ahead than what you really should have, right? You don't even get ahead. We just barely survive, right? There's that ceiling. Like, man, how do I get above the ceiling? I can't. And so there are ways to get around that. There really are. And I do know a way, and I do teach the way, and I teach people how to retire early with more money than they had when they worked in the first place. Is what I do. And what this gets shared with you, probably the person who shares it with you knows the exact same thing. So reach out to them. My goal is to have everybody dream again of what's really, really, not what's possible in your mindset now. But in order to dream, it's the hardest thing to do is to teach somebody to dream. And it takes, a little time. It takes a little bit of time to prompt you to start using your imagination, and your brain fights you. But believe me, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Isn't there a song by some? Anything is possible.